This is Karen from Earth Strong Yoga. Today we're going to be focusing on a short yoga practice that is primarily related to promoting spinal flexibility. So I encourage you to practice sun salutations, which you can find in another video in this section, for promoting that movement, the forward and the backward movement. So you're doing the forward movement with Uttanasana and forward folds, as well as downward dog, and then that backward movement, the arching of the spine with upward facing dog. If upward facing dog is too much, you can come down to Sphinx pose with your forearms resting on the floor, which isn't quite as deep of a back bend. So we're just going to start off with a few standing postures, a few seated postures, integrating the forward and backward movement and spinal twist in the spine. So starting in mountain pose, your feet about hip widths apart. And we're just going to take a few breaths here, find our center. Just take a minute to connect with the energy of the earth. Feel the force of gravity pulling you down towards the earth, and also lift up through the body. You can gently rock from forward to backward, finding your balance between the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet. And then gently rocking from the right foot to the left foot. You can keep your eyes closed to center more within. And finding that center point. Lifting up, contracting the thigh muscles, contracting the abdominals, shoulders, blades back and down, lifting up. Lengthening your neck, lowering the chin slightly. 5 breaths here. Excellent. We're going to start with a gentle dynamic chair pose. So inhale, lifting up onto the tippy toes, reaching up skyward. And exhale, coming down into chair, bending those legs, lengthening the spine. Inhale up to the tippy toes. Exhale, Utkatasana chair. 3. Using that breath. 4. And the last one, we're going to stay for 5 breaths. So reaching up, lifting, and coming down into chair. Now you can leave your arms beside you, or you can reach them up overhead. 5 breaths here. Legs bent, knees bent. Last breath. And then we're going to keep chair, hold chair pose, bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. We're going to take the right elbow and bring it down to the left knee. So coming into a twisted chair pose. 5 breaths here. Keeping a healthy bend in the knees. Inhale back to center, keeping the knees bent. And exhale to the opposite side. 5 breaths. Coming back up to mountain. Taking a few breaths. Coming back to center. We're going to bring the feet a bit further apart this time, perpendicular to each other. And then we're going to point the left foot forward, the right foot slightly in. Inhale, bring the arms out beside you. Stretching wide from that center point, and exhale to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Sliding the left hand down the left leg, 5 breaths here, pointing the right hand towards the sky, looking up at that right thumb, the right thumbnail. Now you can come up further to about here. And if you want to challenge yourself, you're welcome to go all the way down. If you have more flexibility, some people may touch the floor. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, opposite side down. 5 breaths here. Inhale, coming up, keeping the legs extended. We're going to enter revolved triangle. So bringing the right hand down, opposite the left foot on the the inseam of the left foot. We're going to lower the hand down to the floor. 5 breaths here. Reaching the left hand up towards the sky. Looking towards that drishti, gazing point. Coming back to center. Exhale, twisting, bringing the left hand to the inside of the right foot. And then looking up towards that right thumbnail. Inhale, coming back up. And exhale, mountain pose, taking a breath or two here. And we'll do a quick balancing pose, so tree pose. I'm bringing the right heel to the outside of the left ankle, coming up to the calf, to the calf muscle, or coming all the way up to the inside thigh of the left leg, finding your balancing point or your gazing point to help with your balance. Hands to Anjali, prayer mudra, and a few breaths here. Any micro movements or building muscle. For the last few breaths, try to challenge yourself. Bring your hands over the head. It's okay if you're wobbly. And coming back to center and releasing. Okay, we'll be doing the opposite side. So bringing the foot up depending on where you're comfortable, either in a kickstand position, the outside of the calf, or the outside and the inside of the right thigh, making sure to keep that knee outwards. So you don't want it to be facing forward like this, you want it to be horizontal. And hands to Anjali Mudra. Finding a comfortable gazing point. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Last 2 breaths, reaching overhead. Lengthening the space between the vertebrae. And back to center. And then we're going to be inhaling up, reaching up. We're going to be introducing a slight extension, a slight back bend as we reach backwards. And exhale, coming forwards, hinging from the hips. Forward fold. You can keep a healthy bend in the knees. 5 breaths here. And then we're just going to be walking our hands forward to a plank. Go this way so you all can see me. 5 breaths here in plank. You can lower the knees down if you need more support. And then we're going to come onto the outside of the right foot and reach the left hand up, side plank. Look up at that left thumbnail, 5 breaths. Entering back into plank. And then transitioning onto the opposite side, reaching that right hand skyward. Whoops. Now you can actually come down onto that lower leg like this if you need more support. So using that lower leg as a kickstand, or you could try to challenge yourself and come onto the outside of the foot. Good job. That's a challenging one. Coming back into a seated posture. At our buttocks on the back of our heels. Taking a breath here. As we lower down to child's pose. 5 breaths in child's pose. You can keep your hands outstretched in front of you, or you can bring them back beside you. Face the head to one side or the other, 5 breaths. And we're just going to be coming onto all fours here, reaching the right hand up, and then bringing it down in between the leg and your left leg and your left arm. We're going to be reaching it through, so threading the needle and coming down onto that right shoulder, lowering the head to the floor, keeping the hips high. Coming back up to tabletop, and then bringing the right hand to the center, lifting the left hand up, looking up, and then threading the needle through, coming down onto the floor, keeping those hips high. Coming to easy pose, and we're just going to be doing Matsyendrasana. So this is a spinal twist. So bending the right leg and bringing that in, bringing the left leg over the right knee. Now if that's too difficult, you don't have to come quite that far. And then we're just going to take our right hand and bring it to the opposite knee, using it for leverage. Inhale, and you can also bring your left arm behind you for support. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale and twisting. 5 breaths here. And release. Doing the opposite side, bringing the left heel into the right buttocks, and crossing the left foot over the right knee. I'm sorry, the right foot over the left knee. The right hand behind you, and the left elbow resting or using the right knee as leverage. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, twisting. Excellent. Coming back to center. And we're just going to slowly lower ourselves down onto the floor, keeping the legs bent. And bringing the arms out to each side. And then bringing the knees to the right side. And you can control the stretch based on the height of your knees. So if you want to increase the twist, bring the knees further up. If you want to make the stretch less intense, bring the knees further down. 5 breaths. And looking over to the left hand. Keeping both shoulders flat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lowering the knees to the opposite side, keeping the right shoulder flat, looking out over the right ring finger. Inhale back to center, hug the knees. Lowering the right and the left foot. Coming into Shavasana or corpse pose. Palms facing up. Let the feet fall to the side. Feel the support of the earth. And give yourself some time to fully release any tightness. Notice the results of the practice. And integrate the results through relaxation.
So we'll do about 10 more nice, deep, smooth, slow breaths. Feeling the belly rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Feeling the lungs expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. Stretching those intercostal muscles, the accessory muscles to breathing, working the diaphragm. Focusing your mind on